How many opportunities has fear already stolen from you in your marriage, your fatherhood, or your career? Think about it. How many conversations have you avoided because you didn't want conflict? How many opportunities have you passed on because you didn't feel ready? How many moments with your kids or your wife slipped by because you were too busy? When really you were just afraid of failing. Men, we only get one life, one shot. And every time we shrink back, every time we hide behind excuses, procrastination, or busyness, fear robs us of the life God designed us to live. The truth is, fear disguises itself well. It doesn't always look like running away. Sometimes it looks like comfort. Sometimes it looks like playing it safe. Sometimes it looks like waiting until later. But every time we bow to it, we miss out on the mission, the purpose, the impact God already decided should be ours if we'll only rise up and take hold of it. Here's the good news. Courage isn't just for the bold or naturally fearless. It's about choosing faith over fear. It's about taking the next step even when you don't know how it will work out. It's a skill you can practice and develop with God's help. We can have courage because of God, not ourselves. But here's the important truth you need to know. True courage doesn't come through grit and willpower alone. It comes from trusting God, that His ways are best and that He will give you the power to walk in it. Throughout the Bible, God instructs His people not to fear, but to be strong and courageous. But notice the why in Joshua 1:9. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. That changes everything. You don't have to muster courage by gritting your teeth or pretending you're not afraid. Courage comes from knowing the God of the universe is by your side, strengthening you, guiding you, and fighting for you. Think about it. If you were stepping onto the ball field for the biggest game of your life, you'd want a coach guiding your every move, teammates covering your back, and a game plan in hand. That's how God equips you. He's not just with you in an abstract, sense. He's actively, giving you guidance and strength and strategy so we can face our fears with confidence. This means you can take the next step even when you don't feel strong. You can lead your family, face conflict, or make hard decisions, not because you've got it all figured out, but because you know who's backing you up. Real courage is quiet confidence in God's presence, not an overinflated sense of your own abilities. So what does this look like practically speaking? Here are 5 steps you can take to start, showing up with courage in your life starting today. Tip number 1, get honest about your fears. The first step toward courage is facing reality. Courage doesn't mean you're never afraid. It means you're willing to act despite fear. But that can't happen if you aren't honest about what's holding you back. Take time to pray and ask God, Lord, where am I shrinking back? Where am I letting fear dictate my choices? You might discover fears you didn't even realize were influencing your life. Fear of failure or conflict, or fear of what others think, or even fear of not being enough for your family. This is powerful because hidden fears control your actions. But once you bring them into light, you can start just handing them over to God. Being honest about fear isn't a sign of weakness. It's a first act of courage. Even David, the psalmist, wrote openly about his fears and struggles before God. That transparency with God fueled his strength and bravery. You can do the same. Tip number 2, take small, obedient steps. Courage isn't usually a sudden leap. It's a series of small, intentional steps. You don't need to slay Goliath tomorrow, but you do need to start moving. It could be initiating a hard conversation with your spouse, sitting down to pray with your kids, or confessing a sin you've been avoiding. Each small step strengthens your courage muscle. Obedience, even in the little things, proves that your faith is alive. God doesn't call you to be fearless. He calls you to trust Him. Every time you act in faith, even when it's uncomfortable, you build momentum. Over time, what felt impossible becomes natural because you've practiced walking forward even when it's hard. Tip number 3, stay in the Word. Courage without God's truth is like fire without fuel. It'll burn out fast. So fill your mind with truth. Memorize scripture that reminds you God is with you, that He strengthens the weary, and that His power is made perfect in weakness. These verses aren't just inspirational. They're weapons against fear. When you stay in the Word, fear loses its grip because you're anchored in God's promises instead of your feelings or circumstances. Courage isn't self-generated. It grows from the life of God inside you. The more you feed on His truth, the more equipped and confident you'll be to act boldly, even when your emotions want to pull you back. Tip number 4, find brothers to sharpen you. Courage thrives in community. You weren't meant to go through life alone. God designed men to sharpen and encourage one another. Join a men's group, a Bible study, or find an accountability partner. Share your struggles, confess your fears, and celebrate wins together. Iron sharpens iron, and accountability keeps you honest and growing. When you see other men stepping into courage, it inspires you to do the same. And when you lean on trusted brothers, you'll have guidance and support for those moments when fear threatens to paralyze you. Tip number 5, pray for courage daily. Don't underestimate the power of prayer. Ask God for courage every day. Don't wait for bravery to arrive naturally. Invite God to give it to you. Praying daily keeps you aware of your dependence on Him. It reminds you that courage isn't just a personal effort. It's a partnership with the Spirit of God. Over time, those prayers build an inner boldness that doesn't rely on circumstances, personalities, or confidence in yourself. Courage isn't about being fearless, or perfect. It's about taking next steps with faith. So here's your challenge for today. Identify one area where fear's been holding you back, something you've been avoiding, shrinking from, or overthinking. Then take a small, bold step toward it before the day is over. Pray for courage. Remind yourself of God's presence and act, even if it feels uncomfortable. Don't wait for perfection or the right moment. Courage grows when you move forward in faith, one step at a time. Make today the day you start proving to yourself that fear won't control your life. Finally, if this episode has encouraged you, be sure to subscribe to the Courageous Men podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you have a friend or coworker who you think would enjoy this episode as well, be sure to share it. Join our community of courageous men to stay encouraged and held accountable. Thank you for showing up and choosing to grow. I'm honored to walk this journey with you, and I can't wait to see the courageous steps God will lead you to take today.